Morning, everybody. Starting early. Gonna do a full limb swap on this bow. He had this on a pretty rough backcountry hunt, horseback. Took a bit of a digger, hit the edge of the bow on some rocks, and it's pretty common when that happens. You'll start to get a small sliver, small D-lamb on the edge of your limb. It's pretty common if you nick the side of your limb, or if you have crap flopping around in your bow case like Allen wrenches or anything like that, hits the side of your limb. It's got a lot of pressure there, so it's going to lift. You see it right here. It's down the edge. Pretty much stops there. This isn't life or death. This isn't something that's going to really affect. This also happened right here. You can see this big indention where it hit a big rock. See that indention right there? And that caused a slight D-lamb on the edge. You can see it just right there. So if that happens and you have it like that, don't sweat it. You know, it does happen. That's the good thing about the way these Hoyt limbs are made. I'll tell you about it. To show you this, I'm using a target bow. You can see right there on the target bow, it's a clear coat, so you can actually see the multiple layers of laminates on the limb. And that's really, really important. By having these multiple layers, you can see the multiple layers here. You really don't have to worry about those small D-lambs on the corner because it's not part of the single layer. First thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to mark these cams using the limb as a reference here and here so that I know I can get this system right back to where it was. See, I got a mark there as my reference. And also have a small mark right there as well. A lot of people ask how soon they should replace the string. The integrity of this string is actually really good, other than a few small signs of wear. But this right here is easily fixed with wax. Cables look really good. All the wear through the roller guards look really, really good. There's just some minimal wear here, but still totally fine. Remove the string. Backed out the roller wheels here so that I could have the cables here in the center, and now I can remove each of the cables. All the strings and cables are kept right here on a ring, so don't lose any twists at all off these, so it can stay exactly how it was. Before I relax the limbs, I need to make sure that I go ahead and take the pressure off this cable here. Alright, now we're just relaxing these limbs all the way down. Notice that I started with my press a little bit higher, my jack. And that's because if you're removing limbs, you have to be able to let this go all the way down. So if you start out with your press really low, you won't be able to get this low enough because your jack will bottom out first. So if I'm doing a limb swap, I'll take my jack, move it about a third of the way up, then adjust the arms. Alright, here we go. Fully depressed, relaxed. So now I'll be able to do this limb swap. Now I have this bottom set here. I go ahead and keep that cam in it for easy reference for you. And I've got the new limbs here, and I'm just going to take the cam system, put it in the new limbs. Okay, so I've got everything out. I laid the spacers between the limbs, that way you can remember easily which ones go where. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and take the time to clean this up. Q-tips are an awesome way to clean. You don't want to over grease these. Just use a Q-tip to clean them properly. The other thing is use your Q-tip to go all the way around your cam tracks. Keep them free of grime that wrecks your strings. Ew. Okay. Got her back together. Put my little limb damper in there. And one limb's done. Going to clean some of this garbage up on both sides. Clean some of that up. Also clean up a little bit of the inside of the rockers here as well before I put the limb in. Got the limb back in. Lifted this arm just enough to hold pressure on this so that now I can remove this other one and work on it. Cam 2 is off, so repeat process. I'm going to clean the cam tracks and lightly clean the bearings. Reinstalled, ready to press. As you're pressing, make sure these points are in. 4 points each limb. Here, over there. Also make sure your rockers are in the right spot, seated in the right place on the inside. Took the strings and cables off, easily restrung it. So getting ready to let the pressure off. Make sure you put these back underneath your roller guards properly. And now I'm going to work on string maintenance. I did replace the string. There's a few worn strands, so I went ahead and replaced the string. Left the cables, they're in really good shape. It's a thing of beauty, people. All redone.